Hello, welcome back for another ReZero episode review. Episode 5. An initial thought on the episode, I have to say, it was a very good episode. One of the best so far. Actually, probably the second best to me, with episode 1 still being my favorite. This is of course because of Regulus. But on to the episode itself. In the last review, not the last one, but the last one that I did by myself, I mentioned I would split these reviews into topics and talk about them like that. This way I can cut a lot of the fat off the episode and talk about the most important moments. The topics I have set up for this video are the end of the first trial, the Roswell conversation, and the return to the mansion. Without further delay, let's get into the video. The first topic, as I said, is the end of the first trial. After Subaru had his heartfelt moment between him and his parents, he arrives at the classroom. There he meets Ekina. The both of them have some back and forth dialogue, with her explaining this world that Subaru is in, which is the world she manifested for the trials, and how it's based off his memories in his past. However, the part I want to talk about the most is about Amelia's scene after Subaru woke up from his trial. After Subaru had awakened from his trial, he saw Amelia. Amelia, as he grabbed her, was in complete despair and terrified of what she had just witnessed during her trial. Now, the way that they depicted Amelia's fear, I thought was perfect, because you see the wandering eyes of confusion because she doesn't know where she is and what's going on. Then as Subaru tries to speak to her, you see the shaking and quivering of her lip, and watching her lips shake like that was so heartbreaking. So you can only wonder what she seen inside of her trial to make her shake that badly and to damage her with that much fear. So I love the way they animated Amelia's fear. That was perfect. It was great. To move on to the second topic, which is also my favorite part of the episode and one of my favorite moments from the entire arc as a whole, and that is Subaru's conversation with Roswell. So before I begin to defend Roswell, I want to point out an error, or at least a problem, that I found with the conversation. So if I am wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments, but I don't like the dialogue between Roswell and Subaru. Let me not say I didn't like the dialogue per se, but in the anime, they alluded, or I guess said, that Roswell was the reason the witch coast showed up in the first place, as if he called upon them. Y'all know my memory is a little spotty and I don't know exactly what was said in the light novel, but I highly doubt that they had that specific of dialogue to say that Roswell summoned the witch coast there. If I remember correctly, in the web novel, Roswell didn't allude or basically admit, like he did in this episode, to him calling the witch code, which he didn't, by the way, for anyone who thinks I am spoiling. And I guess me saying that is a spoiler, so oh well, helped you out, I guess. But I was so perplexed on why they vilified Roswell in this episode in that particular way. But as for the conversation itself, Roswell was spitting. You can say Roswell is an a-hole, you can call him immoral, unethical, whatever you want. But you can't tell me what that man said out of his lips was nothing but facts. You may not like it, but as Roswell said, it was the best decision for Amelia, Subaru, and the Amelia camp as a whole. By having him not step in Arc 3, it was a perfect plan. Or let me at least say a good plan. Understand that Subaru is mad, especially about the amount of deaths that had happened because of Roswell's absence, and also the amount of deaths he had to go through. But you have to look at this quite rationally. This is a political war between 5 candidates. Sacrifices have to be made and will be made, and unfortunately those people were sacrificed. But by sacrificing those people, it allows for Amelia, who I believe is one of the worst candidates for king and has a terrible reputation because of the way she looks, to bring more people to her side and allow her to be able to get closer to winning. By having her take down the terror of the world, the witch cult, this can allow for people's opinions to change. So to me, it was the best option, and I wholeheartedly agree with Roswell. On to the last topic, that is the leaving of the sanctuary. I have always said this, and I have been patiently waiting for this episode. When Subaru leaves the sanctuary for the first time, everything will hit the fan, because everything prior is either okay or boring compared to what comes after he leaves the sanctuary for the first time. So before he leaves the sanctuary, I want to talk about the Garfield moment. So we seen that Garfield was irritated, a tiny bit irritated, from the fact that Amelia failed her trial again. So I didn't like the way this was depicted, because as I said within the stream we had yesterday about the discussion of the episode, I said that the way the web novel had Garfield's irritation depicted was much better, because when it came to Garfield, he was irritated to like the highest amount of Amelia. He was a lot more ruthless in the way that he treated Amelia, since she kept failing the trials over and over. Whereas with here, he was just kind of like, oh, she failed again. Okay, oh well, we'll try again the next day. Ain't like a joke there, but it's like he should have been angrier, let me say. because him being angrier sets up things perfectly for what comes next episode. And for you all who have read, you know what I'm talking about. So the way that he was depicted here, I'm not the biggest fan, but it was okay, I guess. I'm doing quotation marks. And I also didn't like the way they had Subaru convince Garfield, because that was off screen, but it is what it is there. As for the moment between Ram and Subaru, I like how they laying down this foundation of some type of secret plan between Roswell and Frederica, and setting Frederica up to what would seem like she's going to be the villain. So I thought that was really good. But of course, we want to move on to the most important part of this topic, and the part that everyone went wild on, and that of course is the return of Elsa. So this was a really hype moment for me, because I remember reading it, it was great, and even in the anime it was great. You see him pull up, and they already have like the red sunset dark colors as you see him open the door to the mansion, and you begin to see that every door is open, and then out of nowhere he remembers Rem, and he begins running. Then he suddenly just trips, and all you see is him tripping on his fallen gut. Oh man, like him tripping on his intestines has to be like, oh, that's disgusting. But it was great to see Elsa. Now she becomes a key player within the second season, and since we didn't see Petra or Frederica, best we can assume that Elsa killed Petra, and then that Frederica is working with Elsa. So it'll be nice to see how everything unfolds from there. But that's pretty much it for everything I need to talk about. As I said, it was a really good episode. Tell me how you all thought about the episode, how you feel about everything. I'm pretty sure all of you are excited that Elsa came back. I know a lot of you watched my previous video that I dropped yesterday on Elsa. I know a lot of you were happy that she was back. But tell me your overall thoughts on the episode. But I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more ReZero content. Follow me on Twitter. The link for the Discord, it was supposed to be in the description, but it's not there. But we'll get there one day. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I hope you all have enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. And goodbye.